Oh, what a day. What a day. I don't know if you guys know this. The Cowboys beat the Eagles today. Ended a little while ago. Roman has a great question. Is this real? I know. Maybe I'm petty. But when you've been saying the Philadelphia Eagles are falling apart all season like I have, and it's 21-0, the Cowboys are down, and the whole world is on your social media, I thought they were falling apart. Oh, you're talking about that quarterback, huh? The one that's up 21-0? You know, you don't want to be wrong all the time. I don't want to be wrong all the time. So that wasn't good. It wasn't good when it was 21-0. It wasn't good for Jeff. But it got good for Jeff the last 38 minutes plus. Watching the Eagles score 0 points. Welcome in, everybody. Oh, who was it? Who said something about it? Kevin said, Jeff taking advantage of that algorithm. Yeah, Vach today on the postgame show, he said, oh, I'm going home and I'm going live again. And then again. You got to take advantage of the algorithm when the Cowboys beat the Eagles. And I thought to myself, and I told Vach in the parking lot, I said, I think I can get home before you can. Okay. So we're going toe to toe. Did I beat him? Is Vach live? It's cool. I want him to get all the views, but I also want him cancel the order for the tank hats, Jeff. Yeah, we might have to cancel. Them. No tank hats yet, but that's beautiful, right? It's beautiful. I love the draft. I love having 2 first-round picks. I wish the Packers would have lost today. I wish they would miss the playoffs. I wish we'd have 2 good picks. That'd be so fun. But it's not fun having the season be over with like a month and a half or 2 months left. That's not fun. It's fun because I like to talk about the draft and I'm watching the players. I'm getting ready. But it's just not fun being out of it that early. So, yeah. Oh. Roman wants to know, do you live at the studio? Also mock draft. No mock draft. I did a mock draft on Twitter today. I said you use your first rounder on Ohio State safety Caleb Downs. You use your second first rounder on Ohio State linebacker Sonny Styles. And that is terrible from a position value standpoint, but damn it, I think those dudes are both real, real good. I think they're real good. Frankie just said, you're the best, Jeff. Love you, man. Seriously, you keep me going. Well, if I can keep you going, I sure do appreciate it, and I'll do it. I'll be happy to do it. I love you. I love everybody. Jerome is in the chat. Cowboys dub. What's the deal with Lamb? And did it seem maybe there's some drama with him and Dak and him finger pointing about ball placement? Okay. I dropped my Recky Specky thoughts on CeeDee Lamb in the DLS Cowboys postgame show. Make sure you're tuned in tomorrow for our show on DLS Sports on YouTube. I do think that our guy could use a sports psychologist, okay? Like last year, he showed that like he's tough and in bad circumstances, he didn't lay down. The season was over, backup quarterback, shoulder banged up, and he played through it. Like the dog is there. But I do think CeeDee's in a wonky spot now because he's got people talking about who's the best receiver on this team. George Pickens is better than CeeDee Lamb. What is it? Like all that is going around, and Pickens just keeps balling. And I think CeeDee is pressing because he'll drop an occasional ball. CeeDee will do that. But I think he's living in his head right now because he wants to keep up with what's happening over there, and he's not. And I think it's messing him up. That's what I believe. I believe that's happening. Just a thought, not trying to ruin the vibes. Is the ball being forced to CeeDee, or is he just having confidence issues? No, I think he's just having confidence issues. Like the goal line one, you probably didn't need to throw that to CeeDee, and maybe you could have if you went up and over to the back. That was just a bad read, bad ball. Although maybe after one of the drops, I felt like they were really trying to get it to him. This is all going to be fine. The beauty of it is we beat the Philadelphia Eagles. They're falling apart. And that's gorgeous. And CeeDee Lamb's really good at football. So ultimately, this is going to be all good. George Pickens being a freak show, said it on the DLS postgame, and I do believe that George Pickens is going to go from the problem in Pittsburgh, team didn't want him, shipped him out, and then traded more for DK Metcalf and paid him the money they didn't want to pay George Pickens. Like he's going to go from being that guy to being the highest paid receiver in football at the end of this year. George Pickens is about to be a $40 million player. But the Cowboys will probably just franchise tag him, and then that'll be an awkward offseason, and then he'll not come to camp, and they'll be like, he's not going to play week 1. And the Cowboys will be like, yeah, but you're franchise tagged, and if you don't eventually show up and play, you actually make $0, and we'll just do it again. So eventually you have to show up and play. I think the Cowboys might end up playing hardball. I don't know. We'll see. But for now, holy cow, that dude's a monster. That dude's a monster. And I do think Frankie's right. They love you when you're up. They hate you when you're down. You can't listen to the people. Yeah. But I think it's hard not to. Right? Because I have some followers on social media. I got a few. And I got a few of them. And I see if somebody does some hating on me. It happens. I see it. And it's not the most fun. But on a good day, it's whatever. What do I care? You're on the internet. Whatever, dude. But people are human. And you see what people say. And I do think, I think CeeDee's in his own head a little bit right now. And what we need is a big game out of him. That it just all comes easy and natural. That's all we need. GM Ben, why does Jesse hate that the Cowboys won today? Don't you do that. Don't do that. GM Ben is my boss, DLS Sports on YouTube. You guys are already subscribed. I know that. Don't you do that to Jesse. Vance went to the PHLY postgame. And they even tried to dispute they're falling apart statement. Hashtag rent-free Jeff. They're falling apart. They don't have a good offense. Defense is good, but the offense, they're just falling apart. It's either the whole first half of a game or in this game, the whole last 38 minutes, they can't score a single point against the Cowboys defense that they actually don't have a problem throwing the ball on. They just can't put it together. That's not the same team. And the reason it's not the same team is because they don't have as good of players. And I do worry that at any moment it'll click because their players are too good to not be good at offense. And they're bad at offense. And there's nowhere you can put that but the quarterback. A.J. Brown's awesome. Devontae Smith is awesome. Saquon Barkley's awesome. But teams are just like, we want to make the quarterback play. And if it's a first read to a Pro Bowler in man coverage, generally he can make that throw. But if you can take away the run game and make him have to, no, you can't have this first one. Now what are you going to do? It gets wonky on him. And that's why I hate on Jalen Hurts, because he just has the friendliest ecosystem of any quarterback in the league, and they have a bad offense. Where else are you going to put it? Where else are you going to put it? Give Eberflus some credit? I don't know if I'm going to do that. Because here's the thing. Is it the hot dog or the bun with the defense? Let's play. Is it the hot dog or is it the bun?
Now this is a hot dog bun.
I think it's a hot dog, too.
So I'm watching that game with the great and powerful Voch Lombardi and huge muscles, Jesse Holley. And even as the Cowboys were making that comeback, every time they were giving the ball back to the Eagles, I was like, yeah, but the problem is if the Eagles don't shoot themselves in the foot and get a penalty, they're not going to have a problem marching down the field. And they didn't. A little hook here, a little stop there, a little out route there, a little ding, 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 ding. The coverage was not good. And they could just ding, ding their way down the field, no problem, on a first read. They could do that. But then they would commit a penalty, and I'm like, now the drive's dead. Because now it's not 3 yards of play will get this done. Now we got to get 20 yards in the next 3 plays, or 19 to set ourselves up for a tush push. Now we got to do that. Now that offense is in trouble. They're not built for that life, not with that quarterback. So I do think, I'll have to see pressure numbers later, but boy, there was a ton of plays where Jalen Hurts was the 4-man rush. Jalen Hurts was just like, so the pass rush wasn't really getting home. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, they had no problem. Any ball to the flats, they had no problem moving the ball on the Cowboys. It's just when they would shoot themselves in the foot, either with a turnover or a penalty, that they're not built for that. It's I don't think that the Cowboys defense was actually great. They were playing really good run defense, but I think they just had a team that kept shooting themselves in the foot and making themselves go into a spot that they're not built for. Pressure wasn't great. Coverage wasn't great. And still the Eagles didn't score in the last 38 minutes. So I don't know if I want to give Eberflus a bunch of credit, but somewhere over there I have to give credit, because we've seen these games before where they get down, and if the offense starts slow like it did in this one, and they get down and they start getting it together and they start scoring, And the defense is like, yeah, but we're going to let them score over and over again too. And then Dak sucks is the story because they started slow and they didn't catch up. And in this one, as you got it going, by hook or crook, you did stop them and you did let it happen the way that it happens for a lot of teams. A lot of teams get down early. And when their offense gets going, their defense helps them out. And the Cowboys were good enough. They were good enough. They were good enough to get it done. Why do I got to? Oh, there's people legit upset about not giving them credit. No, I mean, yeah. You got stops, and you had to have stops to give your offense a chance. I just think a lot of it was Philadelphia hurting themselves. I mean, the amount of times how open a lot of their receivers were, some of the conversions they got to make that were really easy. You're not going to catch me wearing a Fluce t-shirt tomorrow is all I'm saying. You're not going to catch me in a Fluce t-shirt. That's all. That's all. We literally did the same thing last game, except we got 24 and they got 21. Defense was a lot better. Turpin special teams only run the damn ball on the one. I did think that was a mistake. So when it was 21-21 and the Cowboys had the ball in the red zone, I said to Jesse and Vach, I said, you just run the ball until either you're in the end zone or you're kicking a field goal and you take the lead, because that offense hasn't shown you in 35 minutes of game time that they can score a point. So you run it. And if it's 3 times and it's 4th down, kick the field goal, go up 3 and dare Philadelphia to go get points. And if you run it 3 times, 4 times, I don't know if they were inside the 10 yet at that point, and you get a first down or you end up in the end zone, great. Yeah, I thought at that point in the game, it was, look, that team is going to struggle to score. We need to take the lead, and we don't need to risk anything. I've thrown a red zone pick already. No. Hammer until we run out of downs and it's time to kick, or we're standing in the end zone. I did think they should have done that, but nothing will steal my joy from that fumble that went out almost killed me. Yeah, my guy Ferg. So here's the thing about my guy Ferg. I started doing bits about, will Ferg ever break a tackle? So then he broke a tackle or 2 on one play to get a first down and almost score. And that might have been the worst thing that could have happened to him. He did exactly what I wanted, but then he was like, that's who I am. Watch me go. He stopped protecting the football. He was like, I'm just going to keep running through people. And in 2025 in the NFL, they are coming for your football at all times. I told Jesse, I got a lot of weird football takes. I told Jesse, I said, man, we really need to go back to when people just wanted to tackle people so that we can get more entertainment from broken tackles. Now you're really risking things when you break tackles because people aren't really trying to tackle you all that much. They're trying to punch the ball out. So we've gotten into a world where you have to be very cognizant and make sure that you're holding on to the ball. I miss the days where you could be a little reckless with the ball because people were really trying to tackle you, and then you could be a little more loosey-goosey, which meant you could make some cool broken tackles, make people miss stuff. And now we live in a world where all of them are just trying to punch the ball, and we can't do as much cool stuff because we have to make sure that we protect it. And I don't appreciate that. KG's in the super chat. We live in an awesome time. We're debating which superstar wide receiver on our team is better. Yeah. And like, there's no debating at the moment. Like, George Pickens is playing insane football. It's Megatron is back in the NFL. That's what George Pickens is doing right now. And CeeDee's going through it a little bit. But ultimately, the way this story will be is you have 2 holy wide receivers, and it's amazing. Because still, the Jake Ferguson catch on the last drive that was big, you needed it, was CeeDee Lamb comes off the ball and runs a 2-yard crosser. Both underneath defenders are double teaming him, leaving a guy who's 10 yards deeper than him open in Jake Ferguson. CeeDee still had his gravitational pull. If we get to the point where people say, we got to put everybody on George Pickens, cool. CeeDee's going to eat, and it's going to be fine. But I do think he's in his head right now. I do believe that. I think he's in his head right now. I love that on the PHLY show, they're worried about my Phillies falling apart thing. And I do see, this is a bad thing about the world of broadcast right now. I'm going to tell you guys a secret. I have always prided myself, and I still do, on, I don't like things that aren't genuine. If you're doing a sports show and you're just intentionally disagreeing with each other and hot taking it up, because you'll get engagement, because you'll get clicks. I don't like that. But the Eagles are falling apart bit, and it's not a bit, right? It's based in reality, but then it takes on a life of its own. It's based in reality because their team's not as good. They lost Mekhi Becton. They don't run the ball as well because everybody's trying to take it away. Then Jalen Hurts has to play quarterback, which works if it's the first read in man coverage. He's got it, but it doesn't after that, right? So there's way more nuance to it, but just simplifying it down to the Eagles are falling apart has been so fun. It's been so fun. Because they are. And I haven't even seen, because Vach told me you're supposed to just keep going and keep doing more postgame, so I am. I haven't even seen if we've gotten any good comments. I do want Jalen Hurts at the podium to take a shot at A.J. Brown. That would never happen. It'll never happen. But I want it. It would be amazing. Jerome's in the super chat. Overshown's speed on the field is noticeable. Yeah, he made a couple of plays. Having him back is nice. We do need our linebackers to figure it out and cover it. And I'll tell you this. I'm going to go after the defense after they did a good job. They did a really nice job. They gave you a chance to come back, and you did come back. Just play him. Another thing that we're talking about, sometimes we do a watch along and you can hear all of our on the couch conversations, but we were just sitting there. I think this is before Vach got there. It's just me and Jesse. And I was just like, you know how you know that you don't know who your good players are? Because it's just now those two are out there. 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 Like, put Overshown on the field and leave him alone. If he needs a break, come on over. I'll give you a break for a minute. And I think you should put Logan Wilson in next to him. And if you need a break, we'll give you a break. But the whole, Kenneth Murray, but also, here comes Logan. Kenneth, you'll be back in there in a second. And Overshown, you go. And then, Shamar James, you go get you some. And at corner, Bridges, go get you a little bit. Reddy, go ahead and go in the slot. Bland, pop over to the slot. Here comes Rebel. He's going to play a few. I think you know who the best players are. Put them out there. And if they need a break, you can get a little break. But the whole, now this guy's in. And now 3 snaps later for 2 snaps, this guy's going to be in and this guy's going to move over there. And I'm just like, you don't even know who your good guys are. But we'll figure it out. I did this one, right? I did that one. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Got my super chats I'm trying to get through here. I did that one. Jalen Hurts is their problem in twofold. He's a one-read quarterback, which is bad, and he's a good public-facing quarterback, which makes it hard to move away from him. Yeah, he's just too perfect at the I want him to go up there and be like, A.J. Brown had 100 yards. He should be happy, right? That's what you wanted. You want us to be able to throw the ball. You want to get I would love for him to ignite that, but it's not going to happen. There's absolutely no chance it's going to happen, but it would be absolutely amazing. Osa loves Williams. Booker put Carter in check. Yeah, they didn't let anybody really wreck the game for the Eagles defensively. Cowboys had their early struggles offensively, but it was really on them. Drops. Dak missed Javonte by that much when they tried to go for it on 4th down. Throwing a pick on the goal line. At what point are we going to stop the Turpin receiver experiment and give Flo more burn? Activate Mingo just to see as well. Mingo was active today, but I don't know if he stepped on the field on offense. But he was active today. And, I'm good with Flanoy out there. I mean, Turpin did make a good play, and that's what makes it tough on you is when you find a way for him to have the ball and get some daylight, you get some fun. You get that. But, when you ask him to do wide receiver stuff, it can be challenging. Even the one that he caught there in the middle, when he's posted up like this, he still jumps to catch the ball and kind of lets it get into his body. And that's the sign of a guy who doesn't really trust his hands. So now when we're doing things like this and we're doing things away from the body, it gets wonky on you. And so I get it. He's tempting to try to figure out how to make it work. But, I think you just play Ryan Flanoy and you don't worry about all that stuff. That's what I think you do. How do you think Overshown and Revel played? It's hard. It's hard immediately after a game to me to evaluate individual players. Instead, there's some that are easy. A wide receiver, you can see how he played. A running back, you can see how he played. Quarterback, you can see how he played. A guy on defense that's getting after the quarterback bunch, you can see how he played. But Revel, just in real time, there's a couple where I'm like, why didn't you? And then on tape, I'll see that, you thought, because on one where he gave up a slant, I think it was 3rd down. I think he just thought Ezeraku was taking away that window because he was dropping and he didn't. And so it's like, now it looks like I got beat on a slant when really that window, I'm kind of letting you have that because I'm supposed to have somebody there who didn't get enough depth or whatever. So those are tape things. I think it's hard with a linebacker or a corner right after the game to say how a guy played. I like this 11-5-1. They're having some hope. Having some hope is great. That's what we need. Having a little hope. That's what we need. Oh, no. Somebody said they saw the A.J. Brown postgame interview. He was clearly told to be classy. Dang it. I need it to get messy. That's what I need. I need it to get messy. Time to go on a run. Chiefs look beatable. Cowboys are playing with us again. That's what they're doing. They're playing with us. Hit the like button while you're here. They're going to get it. They're going to get our hopes up. They're going to get our hopes up. And then they could lose to Kansas City and it's still okay if you beat Detroit. I think they got room for one loss. One. Unless some of these other teams keep being wonky. Detroit tried to lose today, but you need teams to not try to lose. You need them to lose those games to give you a chance. But, the Cowboys could cowboy it up. They could win the next two and then fart and fall down against like the Giants in Washington or the Chargers in Washington or whatever. But we're not worried about that. Today, what we're going to worry about is George Pickens is a monster. The defense gave Dak to do things that other teams give to their quarterback all the time, where you don't have to be awesome from beginning to end. You give me a chance to get us back in this thing, and he got him back in this thing. Jeff, I'm just tuning in. Could you please give us a short recap of the game? Yes, the Eagles are falling apart. The Eagles are falling apart. And the Cowboys are scrappy. The Cowboys are scrappy, and the Eagles are falling apart. That's what happened. Dak done good. Defense showed life. 88-3 need to swap numbers. That's a comment on Facebook. I do have a Facebook account. Now that I give StreamYard money, I can go to my Facebook as well. So if there's people there, that's great. You brought us and Vach to do a show together. We've done that before, and I will. I got to get over to the Crown Global Media. Vach is having his bourbon right now. Vach got home. I beat him home. I know that. I beat him home. CeeDee will still have 1,000 yards. He'll be all right. CeeDee is going to be fine, I think. He should be. CeeDee's having some wonky brain stuff. He's doing the equivalent of when we asked Dak, hey, I know there's pass rush everywhere. You don't really have time to throw. You don't really have a pocket to throw from. Carry the team. And then when he goes into the mode of when he starts pressing and the team keeps giving up point, CeeDee's pressing. That's what's happening. CeeDee is trying too hard to be great and match what Pickens is doing. And he just needs to be him. Just play. If you just play, you will have 100 yards. But I do think he's in his head a little bit, and that's okay. It's okay. We're going to get through this. We're going to get through this. Somebody said that, did Quentin Williams have a 25% pass rush win rate again? That's nice. Quentin Williams changes things. That's nice. He gives you a chance, and that's all we want. We just want a chance to play better defense, and Quentin Williams gives you a chance to play better defense, and that's nice. And that is probably the best defense you're going to see the rest of the way. So if you can move the ball like that on them, once they got this thing cranked up, they should be able to move the ball and score on whoever, and we'll be in good shape. Yeah, CeeDee's just overthinking it. Every time I see Turpin with the ball, it scares me. When are we extending Clowney, Jeff? I don't know if we got to do all that. I mean, I think he's one of your 3 best pass rushers. And he's playing all right football. They're going to go into the offseason and need to find another guy. They're going to go into the offseason and need to find them another guy that can get after the quarterback. Whether you're talking about an early round draft pick, whether you're talking about trading for somebody or getting some money together. This game, that was too much. That was too much of a 4-man rush, just not really having a chance unless Quinn wrecked shop right off the snap. No, too much. No, too much. Love you, Jeff. Long live the freak. Yes, long live the freak. I agree with that. He lined up offsides tonight. I don't like that stuff. I don't like the 3rd and 10 easy penalty. You're watching on TV and you know he's offsides. How are you on the field and don't realize you're lined up offsides? And then that drive continues. They robbed Flanoy and pretended he didn't touch the ball, but he should have committed fully to blocking that. I think he got himself kind of caught in a weird in-between. Just gave him penalty. And that's one of their touchdown drives. They should have had 14. They should have had 14. I want both wide receivers on this team, but if the Cowboys decide to trade CeeDee, what would he get you? I guess we can address this. You can't trade CeeDee. You can't. When a guy just signed an extension, you go to overthecap.com, type in CeeDee Lamb's name. I looked up the number earlier. If you were to trade CeeDee Lamb in this offseason, you'd take a $55 million cap hit to not have him on the team, as opposed to 15 to have him on the team. I don't think you can't trade. You can't trade CeeDee Lamb. Can't. And you don't want to. Let them find their groove. They're going to find their groove, and it's going to be glorious, and you're going to love it. Everybody's going to love it. Guyton 2 bad penalties. He did. I tell you, a lot of times what happens is as soon as I decide that I'm going to be right there on a sports debate or argument or opinion, the guys try to make me wrong. Guyton played probably his best game last week, and he has made progress in so many areas that I called it. I said, look, Guyton is getting better, and he's going to be fine. He'll be your left tackle for the next 2 years, and he's going to be fine. And then he goes and does some fiddle farting. I'm staying. He'll be fine. He's going to be fine. But yeah, the Eagles are falling apart. That's lovely. We love that. Cowboys dub. We love that. George Pickens is Megatron reborn, although I guess they're both alive. Yeah. You're allowed to have two great wide receivers. You are allowed to have two great wide receivers, and you're supposed to be really, really happy about it. You just need CeeDee to get in the place in his head where he's comfy and good and not dropping passes. He'll have an occasional drop, but he's over dropping right now. He's doing weird stuff, and that's not CeeDee stuff. He just needs to get back to being CeeDee. Need more of the solo post game. You're cooking. I'm not cooking. I'm running out of steam. Yeah, I'm running out. Vance, GP is Megatron clone. That's who I keep thinking of. He's too big to move the way that he moves. He can mosh you. He can run through you. He changes direction and accelerates better than the people who are trying to tackle him think that he can. We have to pay George. Yes, we do. We do have to pay George. Carson thoughts? Corners are tough. Corners are tough. Again, I think that the coverage, it was not hard for the Eagles to throw on the Cowboys in this game. It was just when they would hurt themselves and back themselves up and they would have to throw it more downfield that they ended up in trouble. So I had to tape it. I had to do the tape, and then I can tell you. As a Cowboy fan from Philly, this was an amazing win. It was amazing also because there was a lot of Philly fans there. It was way too loud when Philadelphia did good stuff. There was too many Philly fans there. People are getting too comfortable being Philly fans, and they're angry people. Mostly they're angry people. And I like to see angry people get sad a little bit. Although I'm not supposed to. That's how I know that my inner work is not done. But yeah, the angry, aggressive fan. Oh, I want you to be sad. I need you to be sad. That's great. Okay. All right. I'm going to go. I'm sure Vach is still partying, so go see him. I'm sure he's out there. Thanks for stopping by for an extra post game. It was a good time. The Eagles are falling apart. That's amazing. That's the hot dog. The hot dog is the Eagles falling apart and Jalen kind of the bun. All right. I love you guys. You're the best. Thanks for supporting. Have yourself a good evening. I'm going to go finish Monday Night Football and see if I can fall asleep and dream of things that fall apart. Remember, you have no idea what anybody's going through. Be cool to everybody, even Eagles fans, if you can find it in your heart. I love you. Be easy.